Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new lag poker session. Today, I will not play long. I'm simply trying a new a new layout. Give me your feedback if you like it or not. I think it's gonna be a bit better for you, but let me know if uh, you cannot see correctly the action, or if you like it, or if you prefer the previous one with only one table at a time. I think it might be nice, but let's see. I must remember that I don't have any more to switch tables, so you'll see all the action at once. I will keep pressing the hotkey probably, and it's gonna be terrible because I may switch the layout, and even if I don't want. Let me put some music in the background, so you can also give me some audio check. Okay, should be okay. Table 1, we are playing in a three-way pot. I don't think we can do much in a spot like this with these players. And we are gonna fold. Let's see if the live is going. Probably is. Let me see here if we can. Okay, we have ace queen on table 1. We are going to 3-bet. Out of position versus a recreational player. He 4-bets. We are not gonna do much versus a guy like this. While on table 2, we are gonna try to win this limpet pot. And we succeed. Queen 6 on table 2. We are gonna fold. Ace then. I'm gonna call versus a recreational player is not, I mean, versus a 3x from a good player, it could have been a fold, absolutely. When he checks back, I'm just gonna bet twice, hoping he's not able to fold kings, queens, jacks, stuff like this. I'm also gonna team value bet the river. I don't think he checks back ace jack plus that frequently, or a flush draw, so I think we have clear value, and we had. Let me see if we are actually live, which may not be the case. Let me see. Music in the background. Okay, we are live apparently. That's nice. On table 1, we are going to 3-bet with queen jack suited. Oh, it's so cool. Now I don't have to worry if I'm on the right table with the action. He calls and this nice flop hit. I'm gonna start with a check. I would say checking a lot in this board is quite standard, and that's what I'm gonna do. I expect him to attack a lot, so check call and even check shove sometimes on the turn, I think is gonna be a very profitable line in general. So we start with the check call. Turn is so. I don't mind check shoving still. I mean, we might be drawing that, of course, but I feel like he's gonna bluff a lot if we let him do it. The river is obviously not great. Can we ever value bet? Can you ever bluff this one? I'm not sure we have that much fold equity, to be honest. So I am just gonna check and probably give up, unlikely. Oh, that suck. That suck. King high. That's painful to watch. Table 2, we open the pocket tens. And on table 1, we are gonna raise here at the asphalt. Sky opens. I don't mind 3-betting in position, especially given we are protecting the recreational players. It's not that important in a Zoom table, to be honest. But if you're playing normal tables, I would say it's important to 3-bet a lot the regulars when they open on the recreationals, because you want to be the guy who takes their money. But anyway, ace-10 off is not a random 3-bet. It can be done sometimes. On table 2, we are gonna fold when you ISO and an unknown player is 3-betting big on us. Let me open the chat. King Queen off on table 2. We raise, and we do raise on table 1. We are going to 3-bet with Queen Jack suited. Oh, it's so cool. Now I don't have to worry if I'm on the right table with the. Okay, Queen Jack off. We call. This flop hits. Might check call if our opponent bets small. Half pot. I would say when he bets half the pot, we can fold this one without any diamond. And on table 2 we have jacks. I'm gonna 3-bet. If this guy 4-bets, he was quite active so far pre-flop. I'm gonna call definitely. In position. The flop is obviously nice for us. We're gonna call. Without a heart, I would sometimes maybe even choose a shove. Once he checks, I feel like shoving here is best choice for us with his hand. We deny some equity, which is okay. And also he may call with some worse hands. Not many to be honest, but some for sure. He folds, which is okay. Table 1, we are gonna limp in after the limp from the small blind. And I like to lead out when there is a recreational player in the pot. One guy calls, I have no info on this guy. They both call. Okay. I don't mind betting small versus bad players here. They may have a 9, but they also may not. Nice river versus a recreational player. I'm gonna bet on the bigger side. I think it's gonna call if he has any tuber and obviously a 6 as well. While on table 2 we have ace deuce suited. We are going to raise. Okay, 3-bet. I'm not gonna call or 4-bet, just gonna fold versus this guy. Table 2, we have ace jack off. And we do raise from UTG. Get the blind, which is fine. Okay. Pocket fives on table 2. I'm gonna 3-bet in position versus a recreational player trying to isolate myself with him. They usually are going to call out pre-flop and fold a lot on the flop. Table 1 as well. I am gonna call 10-9 off. That's an interesting flop. We may check call, we may check raise. We have some strong hands in our range. 7s and pocket 8 we sometimes call. We have 7-8, we have a 7, we have ace 8. So I would say check raising here is totally fine time to time. I'm gonna do that this one. And we have pocket 10s on table 1, which we are gonna play. 3-betting. Can we call a 4-bet in position? I would say yes, it will be fine. And we have kings. Too bad. Too bad. Entry suited is normally a fold, but given the guy who raised is probably a recreational player and they just made it 2x, I would say it's gonna be usually a call. Even with another call, of course, I would rather play heads up. But given they're both bad players, I don't think we're burning money in this spot. And unluckily, here we have to check fold. On table 1, we flop a flush draw. Could be a check call, could be a check raise. We have many ways to play this hand. I don't mind trying to bluff this one once they all check. And I'm gonna check raise this. Okay, not the best turn ever, obviously. I would check sometimes, more often than not. Versus an unknown, we have pretty bad blockers here. To make it to bluff again on the turn, I think. While on table 2, I'm gonna check all the flop versus a guy who is a bit short with turn of straight, which is obviously nice. I'm gonna check and see what he does. He checks back. I don't think he has a flush. I'm gonna bet small because it's unlikely he has something really nice. See what he had. On a blank river, I would have bet bigger. Three-bet with ace king, and I am also gonna call a 4-bet versus this guy. I wouldn't shove this much this deep, especially in these positions, but no need apparently. King queen, we do raise UTG. Could be a 4-bet sometimes. Okay, aces. Do raise, and we got a call from a recreational player. It's up to see a squeeze. Big blind looks quite active. He just calls, this flop hits. The guy behind me is very, very aggressive, so I don't mind checking sometimes to do some action. Unluckily, he does not. This guy pots. We are definitely gonna call. Not that I like to see him potting, but still, I feel like we have to call. It's quite close, you know, because I don't think he's ever bluffing. The question is he ever gonna value bet worse this way? I'm not so sure. The board is pretty scary. I don't think he would bet this way a king that much. We beat king jack, which is an option, but I think it's quite neat, but I think it's better to fold here. Could have a 7 easily. You could have a flush. And especially when he does that play in a 3-way pot. I think the average recreational player would not be this aggressive with a king, knowing there is a 7 and a flush there out there. And 9 suited, we do raise. I would mix this flop, sometimes bet and sometimes check. This time I am going for the bet. And fold, of course. 6-7 suited. It's a hand which, you know, you don't need to raise this hand frequently from early position if you play a tough table. I would say if you're playing lower stakes, it's a bit more of an option. Gonna check and probably call. Once he checks back, I'm gonna try to win this hand with 7 high. I'm gonna bet turn and possibly many rivers. That's a nice river, not even a blank. And we have many options. Even check, I don't think he has a 10. If he has a 9, he's gonna bet. If he has nothing, he's gonna bet. So I think checking is okay. Simply because I think he has more 9x or busted hands than mid-value hands. So I think checking is a decent option there. He had pocket deuces, which I don't think he would have called. Ace 10, we raise on table 1, and I also don't mind isolating on table 2 versus a cutoff limp with a hand this week. On table 1, we are going to value bet and value bet big, because this guy is gonna call us with a lot of weaker hands, and on table 2, we are definitely gonna call with a second pair on a board like this, and that's a pretty nice turn, obviously. I would raise here because I think if he has a jack, he's not gonna fold anyway. The river is not the best. I'm just gonna call. I don't think if I raise, gonna call he's gonna call me with wars. He could definitely have a jack block betting, but I don't think he's gonna call if I shove. And it is definitely too strong to fold this hand. He had a jack, but again, I don't think he would have called a shove. So I would say that's totally fine. Ace jack suited on table 1. We are going to raise. I'm gonna play just 15 minutes more, guys. As I mentioned, I was mainly trying the new layout. Let me know if you like the new layout in the comments or wherever. Ace king on table 1, we raise. And we're going to forward here, trying to get it in. Queens on table 2. This guy calls, not the best flop, to be honest. I'm gonna start with a check, I think. With the queens, we get the pot, which is nice. The size is made is small. At the same time, I don't think calling here, check calling out of position in this spot is profitable at these stakes. I'm just gonna fold. It's a bit nit, but I would say in one of the worst boards, it's fine to do that. Gonna bet on table 2. They're probably slightly exploitable when we check fold that hand to the sizing, but I don't think they're gonna exploit us much, so I don't care really in being exploitable when our opponents are not going to exploit us. Pocket 8s on table 1. We raise, obviously. This guy calls, I think, versus a bad player, betting 2 or 3 times with a small sizing is fine. The turn is not the best, obviously. Check folding, it's my favorite option here. Mainly because with 2 8s and 1 8 of diamond, we have pretty bad blockers. The good news is that if our opponent has a 6 or a 4, I think we're gonna get to showdown, and that's obviously nice. On table 2 instead, we do raise. This guy bets big, which is quite suspicious, but at the same time, I don't think he's gonna bluff enough, so I'm just gonna fold. Jack 10.
Who are you, stranger? My name is Witzerk, son of Ragnar Lothbrok.
Ace check. Good for bet sometimes. It's a pretty nice flop, especially versus a bad player. I'm just gonna bet big. He has some ace-x in his range, for sure. The 7 is not the best turn, but still is not bad, given he could have, as I mentioned, a large amount of ace-x's in his range. He calls, the 9 hits. Of course, we are going to value bet. It's a bet fold on the river. About, I would say, 25 blinds, something like that is going to be the good sizing here. If I bet more, I think a bad player would be scared with a weak ace. If I bet this, I think he's gonna be tempted to call a bit more. He folds, which is okay. Ace 9 suited and Queen 5. We do raise with the Queen 5 suited. Okay. We may sometimes squeeze here with the Ace 9, trying to play isolated with the button, who is a weak player. He folds, which is good result for us. We do raise with the pocket fours on table 1. I'm gonna make it 3x, given the blinds are both weak players. The small blind is a bit aggressive, but still. I normally fold this, but given how aggressive this guy is, I think we have more implied odds than we should when we hit our 4, so I am gonna call for that reason. Of course, on this flop there is nothing we can do but check back. It's also kind of tricky, so I'm not gonna start betting just because he may have checks and stuff like this. So I'm just gonna check back and try to get to showdown. Sometimes he gives up with something that we beat, and that's gonna be nice when it happens. Unless, of course, he hit the river, which sucks. Queen 7. We are going to call in this position. 3-betting also would be a very nice option. We're not going to fold if we see bets here. We are going to call at least. Even raising, I don't mind sometimes. Without any kind of history. I don't think he's going to over-defend. Now, this turn hits. I would say, again, without any history, I think he would have bet-folded a lot on this flop. When it doesn't happen, I feel like I don't have a lot of fold equity on this turn, so I'm just going to take my free river, which is a nice river. And if he bets, we are obviously going to raise. I don't think I will shove with no history if he bets, even if he bets big, because this will give us a bit too much fold equity. Of course, if he was a regular and we had history and I have an aggressive image, I might even just shove if he bets. Of course, when he overbets, I am going to shove with the second nut, hoping he doesn't have the stone cold nut. He probably doesn't. Table 1 instead, I don't mind starting with a check, probably a check call. And once he checks back, I am gonna bluff. And I think I'm also gonna bluff this river. We have some fold equity versus some of his hands. And he does fold, which is sweet. Five, 6 suited, we do raise. And I'm not gonna call. Pocket 5s on table 1, we have a UTG raise. I don't know him, might be a recreational, and we certainly have a recreational on the big blind. That's why I don't mind to call. I have a gut shot. Okay, we're gonna start with a check call. Check raising is an option as well, especially if he shows some betting tell, sizing tell. Gonna check all the turn, definitely. That's a nice river, obviously. Betting was an option as well, since we would get a call from his jacks. But yeah, I feel like he might also have many bluffs, so I bet I check. And we raise, of course, on the river, hoping he bet calls with a jack, which I think is what happened there. Yeah. Table 2, we do raise with Queen 10. This guy 3-bets. I'm not in love with calling a 3-bet from a recreational player with this hand out of position. Just gonna fold. Pocket 9s, we do raise. As well as ace-10 suited with 3-bet. Check or bet. I don't mind checking with this combo here. While on table 1 he's so short, I would rather check. And I will check again on the turn. Let's see what he does. Okay. We may have some showdown value sometimes. Not much. Still, we check. Probably had king, queen, king, jack, stuff like this. And on table 2 also we have enough showdown value to go to showdown. I'd rather raise here than check with ace-9 versus a limp, even if he's short and he folds, which is nice. Ace-queen on table 1.
Who are you, stranger? My name is Witzurk, son of Ragnar Lothbrok.
I think I can make it 3x in this table. Ace-9, suited and offsuit. We're gonna raise with the offsuit one and also with the suited one. This guy limp calls, we are going to attack him. And we are c-betting on table 2, our second pair top kicker versus the recreational player. We are not gonna fold on the flop to a raise, if he does raise, and he does raise. Definitely not gonna fold on this turn if he keeps firing. We unblocked Queen Jack and Queen 10 and Jack 10, stuff that could be some of his main bluffs. Could also have a 2 as a bluff sometimes. So we also have some kind of showdown value. We call river is not great, of course, because some of his bluffs just got there. I think I'm just gonna fold, unless I know he's a maniac, and win that. That's nice. See what he had. He had a random bluff, so I'm gonna tag him as an aggressive recreational player. Now we 3-bet this one. Call from the small blind, and the flop is not one of the best we could see. Gonna check back. On a diamond river, I may choose to bluff on the river sometimes. I think I'm gonna go to showdown. Again, we'll lose frequently, but I don't feel like bluffing much here. Okay. It unsuited. It is a call versus UTG, but we are going to fold on this flop. Table 2, we are versus a recreational player. It was a standard call versus a 2x versus this kind of opponent. It is also a standard check call on this flop. And it's gonna be also a check call on the turn, obviously. But we're going to check fold this river. You value bet instead on table 1. Oh, that's sweet. They're giving up a lot on the river. Pretty good for us. Queens. We do raise. As well as with ace 9 suited. Gonna call out the position versus a bad player. It's just a fold. Queen jack. Raise. We make it 3x, given the big blind is some splashy opponent. That's a nice flop. I'm gonna start with a bet. Of course, we're not gonna fold to a check raise. And on this turn, I feel like betting something like this is still gonna be the best option. And betting small, I feel like it's okay even on the river. I think we're gonna get paid with from all his mid pairs and stuff like this. Okay. Gonna sit out next big blind. As I mentioned, guys, this was a short session. Good so far, though, I would say. Pocket nines, we raise on table 1. Small blind calls, and I'm gonna call a 3-bet in position, slightly deep stack, and with the big blind, with the small blind, who might be a recreational player. Flop is interesting. We are going to call. Turn is not the best. With 2 nines, we block the 8-9, which I think is not ideal. Just gonna fold. Will you do a full bankroll challenge by streaming all the sessions? It can be done. I did it in the past. I did stream most of the sessions. The only issue with a bankroll challenge nowadays is that since I have very few time, it's gonna take long. It's gonna take a lot of time because I cannot play more than 2-3 hours a day nowadays. But it's definitely an interesting format, which I will definitely consider. As you said, it's something cool. Looks definitely entertaining, which I would say that's what a stream should be about. Just, you know, if I say, let's say I do again the challenge I did a few years ago, which was from, if I'm not mistaken, $200 to 20K. Nowadays it will take up a huge amount of time for me to make it. But again, we have time, so it's something I will definitely consider. And yeah, I was thinking about something like that, just a bit bothered by the time constraint, but I know it would be very nice to see. And as again, would be great. I will think about it, but it's something definitely worth considering. Anyway, that was it for today. It was a decent session, even if brief. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like the new setup in terms of layout. I hope you can see clearly my hands and what is happening at the table. I think yes. It could be a bit more entertaining for you as well. And if you liked it, please let me know. I hope you enjoy it again, and see you next time. Bye!